Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a man with far too much free time on his hands. This is not a test. This is a random review.
Well, hope you like the new coat of paint. Part of the reason why it's been so long since we last discussed a toy on this channel, but hey, we are here now and we're going to discuss something that actually caught me by surprise. Not only a toy that I really wanted, but turned out better than I expected. So we are going to delve into Cyberverse once again and take a look at Warrior Class Hammerbyte, our latest shark former, and ironically the second one in the show / toy line. That's actually kind of rare, now that I think of it. It took Beast Wars a few years to do a second shark, and here we just have another one. Oh, and that shark was the same character, so technically it doesn't count. Either way, this thing, I'll tell you guys, I loved the look of this toy. The second I saw it, I loved the design of the character, and then the toy, oh boy. So, we have here a classic hammerhead shark, which is absolutely beautifully done. I love the lines on this thing. I like the subtle arch to the sculpt, so it has a little bit more life to it. It's not just a stiff robotic shark. We've got brilliant shades of like a pale blue and then some gray breaking it up here and there. But the big one is, of course, this really rich blue that we have here. Interestingly enough, it's not interesting, it's just something I'm going to point out now. Metallic blue for the head, metallic blue for the fins, and then just kind of a slightly glittered plastic for the tail and this little piece here in the back. It's kind of strange to me that some of these are just painted blue instead of molded, because like this is painted on both sides, every side, except for the mushroom peg that reveals that it's actually gray plastic. I don't know toy budgeting. I don't know why that's cheaper sometimes, but sometimes it is. And then, of course, we've got plenty of extra details here. A little bit of gray there just to make that fin stand out. He's got a fin on the back, of course. He's a shark. Of course he does. What I really like are the extra little thrusters in the side, so he gets a little bit of a boost while propelling through the water. We have an Autobot sigil, tampergraphed on the side as well. And then there is that head. Metallic, of course, but we also have some pale blue for the eyes, so they stand out very nice. And a nice set of jaws, which do open and close. Though opening is a little bit tricky. Mine kind of wants to spring back closed, but it stays in that position, so I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, this thing is just absolutely awesome. I love the look of it. I love just the lines and the color, and I love that it feels complete. You know, I can flip him over, and of course there's all his robot parts, and you can start to suss together how he transforms, but for the most part, he does have a very solid look to him, and there really isn't as many shortcuts as I expected. And as we transform him, you are going to see that for yourself. So we should probably get to that, shouldn't we? Alright, so this is going to be tricky. I just cut my nails. Oh, this is a bad timing for this, because I need to wedge between a few parts here and actually get this open a little bit. Can I just kind of... There we go. Yeah, this is a little bit tight, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit here. Just pry it open just a little bit. Thumbnails definitely recommended on this one. So we fold those down to the side. With those out of the way, we can now get the arms and move them into their proper positions. This is where it's going to start getting tricky, because this shoulder I have to be careful with. I will tell you why later. If you already have the toy, well, why'd you look for an opinion on it? You already know how it is. But hey, if you have not looked into the toy, you will be a little bit weirded out. But if you know what's coming, you'll know why I'm being careful. So, open the legs up like so. We'll go ahead and fold the tail in. It should press in. On mine, it does not peg very solidly at all, but it does have a firm enough hinge that it stays put. So I'm not going to give it too much hassle. Then we're going to raise the torso 180 degrees up, click all of this into place like so. And that's mostly going to be our transformation. From here, we're going to clean him up a little bit. See, there we go. Oh, we're going to talk about that. So cleaning him up a little bit. We get the fins in the proper positions. We get his arms down, his forearms rotated correctly, and there we go. That's going to be our transformation, and that's actually a pretty complete transformation for a Cyberverse Warrior class toy. I'm actually really happy with it. Like I said, it does have some nice little tricks. I do like the whole shark sides coming together to form the robot legs very smoothly. And yeah, it's a very complete transformation. There's not a whole lot of like big shell parts. There's no shell parts like there is on some of the Warrior class toys. There's nothing really strange about it that seems like it's just taking a shortcut. It's a proper transformation. You know, that's really, really cool to see on these. Taking a look at the head, crown, and that is a beautiful crown. Of course, that's the one Chromia liked in the show. If you've seen Season 3, most haven't. I love the look of this, though. I like that the crown is like the only really prominent yellow on him. You get a little bit in the midsection, but that's a very scant amount. It's kind of cool just to have that like trident crown sticking up off the forehead. It's very prominent detail. So looking the rest of him over, a lot more gray has interjected into this color scheme. He's broken up the light blue very well here. I like the color layout on him. And we get a little bit more metallic blue thanks to the painted kneecaps. So, and I like the diamond shape to him. That's actually an interesting little touch. What I really like is that row of teeth for his chest. Of course, that's not the row of teeth he had for his beast mode, but you know, it does make for a really cool design detail. I like little layered elements like this too, like these little layers of panels and down here. It gives it the vibe of a shark scale, and I think that feels like an intentional thing for the designers to include, and I'm happy they did, whether it's intentional or not. But yeah, I love him. I love the proportions on him. A little bit more metallic blue on the side of the shoulder just to get it across. Now, of course, this is not completely show accurate. He does have some extra, aside from just it's a Warrior class toy, and it's going to be missing some paint details. He is also missing these little shoulder things that his show model had, which is a little bit disappointing. But I still think he comes out looking really, really cool. And I do think it has a really good mix of colors and paints going on. I think there's enough paint going on to where you can forgive some inaccuracies and just enjoy him for what he is, because he's doing a really good thing here. So I'm going to show you the gimmick before I get to articulation, because otherwise I'm going to be fighting it the whole time. The gimmick is activated, as you probably figured out by now, by pushing the left shoulder downward. I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know why it's not like a button on the back here or something that would be a little bit more out of the way and harder to affect. But no, I have to pull the arm down in order to activate his gimmick, which turns him into a street shark. But in street shark mode, I'm happy to say he loses absolutely nothing. I actually... This is going to sound weird from the Plastic Addict guy. I actually really like his gimmick. It is actually very visually striking. It has a really cool look to it, and most importantly, it doesn't interfere in his robot mode. With the exception of, why did you put the trigger in the shoulder? That's really weird of you. Stop doing things like that. So besides that, I just think it's a really effective gimmick. I like the multiple moving parts. I like that it stays out of the way. It's actually kind of cool and thematic for the character. It gets as high a grade as I can give for a gimmick. Articulation-wise, you're probably going to be a little bit let down by this, but if you have gone through the Warrior class toys in Cyberverse in the past, you pretty much know what to expect here. He's got ball joints for the shoulders, ball joints for the elbows, so you get full rotation as well as a 90-degree bend. He has ball joints in the hips, which have a pretty good range of motion to them, and something akin to 90-degree knees. It doesn't have a complete bend to it, but hey, it bends pretty well. The only thing I'm really missing here is some kind of neck articulation. And to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure why he doesn't have it, because his head doesn't go anywhere in his transformation. It's hinged like it's supposed to go up in his mouth, but there isn't room for it. It hits on parts. I'm literally not sure why, they went with that and why that's a thing, because it seems like he could just have a ball-jointed neck and round out his articulation really well. Unfortunately, that's not what we got. So, I don't know. It feels like a piece of the transformation either I don't understand, which is weird because it's a simple enough toy, or like just something they tried for that didn't quite work. It's weird and I can't figure it out. But that being said, yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this figure. A big thing comes up on my Discord, and yes, I do have a Discord, is a lot of people I've seen that are just kind of tired of Hasbro doing the same old thing time and time again and just kind of repeating the same characters and designs. They want something new and they want something fresh. Well, Cyberverse has been doing that. RID previously did that. Now, admittedly, it's hit and miss whether or not you have good toys coming out for those new things, but sometimes they do. And that is the new that a lot of people are looking for that I feel like gets overlooked because it's the kids line. So I'm here to defend Cyberverse a little bit and say we do have really cool things like Hammerbyte. He is a very solid figure, and if you can find him at retail for $15, you could do far worse Transformer-wise. I am very pleasantly surprised by him. Minor spoiler, but these two never have any screen time together in Cyberverse, even though they're both robotic sharks on opposite sides of the war, and they both have Byte, B-Y-T-E, in their name. Why would you do that? Why would you tease us like that? That is so unfair. This could have been so cool.